Hello guys. So yesterday we have seen the PEGA decisioning demo. So as part of the demo, so what we have understood? We have understood basically what is next best action, which is nothing but the right offer to the right customer at right time. That is the next best action. We have PEGA decisioning and we have PEGA marketing. So in PEGA decisioning, I told you that this is nothing but to identify the next best action, and for PEGA marketing it is to deliver the next best action. Okay, so that is the difference between PEGA decisioning and PEGA marketing. Now we also understood the mandatory requirement to learn PEGA decisioning is to be CSA certified or CSA experience. All right, so today let us go to the next topic. So what we are going to see today is, within the marketing, we have two types of marketing. So the first marketing is inbound marketing. Second one is called as outbound marketing. So what is the difference between inbound marketing and outbound marketing? Okay, let us understand the difference between inbound marketing and outbound marketing. So basically, see, for example, you went to a particular supermarket. Okay, you went to the supermarket in order to buy some particular groceries. After you buy the groceries, the agent at the reception is saying we have 20% discount on some food products. So this kind of marketing is called as inbound marketing. Okay, that means in inbound marketing, the customer is contacting the business and the business is promoting some particular product. Okay, that is called as inbound marketing, which means customer contacting business and business promoting some product. Okay, another example, let us say you are using Airtel or Jio. Your Jio network is not coming properly. You are calling to the customer care. After fixing the issue, the customer care, they will tell you, okay, now the issue is fixed, we have some 20% off on mobile data plan. So this kind of marketing is called as inbound marketing. The customer only contacted the business and the business did some promotion. But whereas outbound marketing, the customer did not contact the business, the business contacted the customer to promote their products, services. That is called as outbound marketing. Okay, inbound marketing means customer contacting the business for a particular reason and the business is promoting something. Outbound marketing means business is only contacting the customer did not contact them. So these are the two types of marketing we have in PEGA marketing. In inbound marketing, we have website supported channels. I'm telling you, website channel is there, because website will not website will not open for customer, right? Customer will open the website. Okay, customer will open the website and the customer will see that. So then we have retail. So retail means, which I just showed you, tell you now, like for example, you went to a DMart. The software that they use, that's called as retail software. Okay, because you go to that particular business location and the business will promote something. Then call center is also inbound. because you call to the customer care for some particular issue, and the customer care will do some promotion. So inbound marketing. Okay, all these are inbound marketing: website, retail, call center. In outbound, we have supported channels, which are email, okay, SMS, push notifications, and again outbound calls. So all these are outbound marketing, because here the customer is not contacting the business is only contacting the customer. So supported channels are, these are the supported channels. So these are the two types of marketing which is present in PEGA marketing. Inbound, which means customer contacting the business for a particular reason and the business is promoting something. Outbound means customer is not contacting, business is only contacting the customer in order to do some promotion. Okay, like you get daily some spam calls, personal loan, credit card. So all this is outbound. Okay, all this is outbound, which will come under outbound calls. You will get lot of SMS also. We have personal loan offer eligible for you. You just take it. So all this is called as outbound marketing. So these are the two types of marketing which is there in PEGA, which we are going to see in detail. Okay, so coming to the next thing. Now we will be learning about the environment setup. Before we start PEGA decisioning, we have to set up our environment so that our application is ready for decisioning implementation. So what are the various services, or what are the different things which are there in PEGA decisioning? So those things we'll be learning it today. See, PEGA decisioning is different from PEGA core PEGA. So you need to have some special services that have to be enabled in the application in order to perform decisioning. So let us see what are those. Okay. So in order to process the decisioning services and have a smooth decisioning implementation, below CDH services are necessary. So what are those services? First one is ADM. ADM stands for Adaptive Decision Manager. So this service is responsible for your adaptive model, predictive model to work normally. Okay, so first thing, just to show you in the notepad again. Okay, so required services for decisioning. Okay, first one is ADM, which is called Adaptive Decision Manager. So this is responsible for, so this service is responsible for providing customer interactions to adaptive model and predictive model. That means these two models, if they have to work normally, this service should be enabled. Customer interactions means like you send some promotion, whether the customer accepted it or whether the customer rejected it. This is nothing but a customer interaction. So that data is needed for the model for analysis purpose. So the data which it will be sent by this service only. Okay, this service is responsible for sending this information to the adaptive model and predictive model. So without this service, this data will not be transferred to these models. So that is the purpose of the adaptive decision manager. So next, what we have? Next we have DDS. So DDS stands for decision data store. So this is automatically mapped to Cassandra database. So what is Cassandra database? Why do we need to use it? We will be learning it. Okay. So what is the purpose of that? But what is DDS means? In order to insert or delete or update anything in Cassandra database, DDS service is mandatory. Okay. So in PEGA decisioning, we actually recommend Cassandra database. So why we need to recommend Cassandra database? What is the purpose of Cassandra database? We will be seeing it. But this particular service, which is called DDS, Decision Data Store, it is very much important for Cassandra database. So without DDS, we cannot insert or we cannot delete anything, any record. We cannot update any record from the Cassandra database. Okay, so that is the purpose of this Cassandra database, sorry, DDS node. So we'll see what is Cassandra, how to use that. Third one is the stream. So this is responsible for actually real time. So all this stream RTDG, which is called as real time data grid and real time. All these three services are responsible for real time processing of data. So in PEGA decisioning, we have some features where we receive information at runtime from third-party systems. So when we receive the information at runtime from third-party systems, PEGA has to process them. That processing will happen because of these services. Okay, stream, RTDG, real time. All these are responsible for real-time processing of incoming data. So then the background processing, which you already know, which is responsible for the queue process, agents, job schedulers, these background nodes. Okay. So these are the mandatory services which should be enabled in your environment before you start the decisioning implementation. ADM, which is responsible for training adaptive model, predictive model. DDS, which is responsible for Cassandra database related operations. Stream RTDG real time, responsible for any real time data that is coming to PEGA. Then background processing, which is same like for agents to run. So any questions still here? So any doubts or any clarifications are clear, all of you? Fine. If no questions, then we'll go to the classification. So we understood which services are needed. Okay, we understood like which services are mandatory for decisioning. Now we will see how do we configure these services in our environment. Okay, so we have seen what are the required services. Now we'll see how do we configure them. Before we understand that, we will understand what is node and cluster. So a node is nothing but a server where your PEGA PRPC is installed. If you are installing PEGA PRPC on multiple servers, that is nothing but a multi-node environment. The nodes together will be present in a cluster. Okay, node is nothing but a server. You can have multiple nodes. All the nodes will be grouped in a single cluster. So now coming to the node classification. So when I say we have this important services which we need to enable, what I mean by enable means we have to classify our nodes with the services. What is meant by node classification? Node classification means, for example, in your environment, there are 3 nodes. Those 3 nodes, we have to classify which node will run which services. Okay, for example, I'll say node 1, you run ADM, RTDG, and background. Node 2, you run web user services, like this. Okay, that means we will classify which node should have which services running. That concept is called as node classification. Okay, basically node is nothing but a server. You can have multiple servers, and in that server, which service should run, which service should not run, that you call it as node classification. Okay, so we have to do the node classification, which is generally done by the admin or LSA. How do we do the node classification? So basically, if you go to the admin studio, so I have my CDH here. I don't know if it is down or not now. It's still up. So once I come to this CDH, what you have to do is go to the intelligence and go to the prediction studio here. Okay, go to the intelligence, then you go to the prediction studio, and here you can actually switch to the admin studio. So here what you have to do is switch to the admin studio. So you see this is the admin studio, and in the admin studio you see there is one node running. What it is showing? It is showing there is one node running. So this is where you can see how many nodes are present in your environment. So in your real-time project, definitely you will have more than one. You will have 3, 5, like that. So when you see the node type, this is where you see what nodes are using what services. So when you have multiple nodes, you need to classify, okay, node 1, you run these services. Node 2, you run these 2 services. Node 3, you run this one service. But when you have a single node, like in my case, even in the personalization also, you will have a single node only, which means single server is there. When you have a single node, then what we have to do is we have to simply set it as universal. Okay, universal means run all the PEGA services on that node. That is the meaning of that. Okay, regardless, you don't need to specify what you have to run. Just universal means run everything. So this you have to set it only when you have single node. Okay, when you have single node, you have to set it as universal. That's what I see here, right? You see, node type universal means run everything. That is the meaning of that. Now, what about multi-node environment? What we have to do? So let us see how to do that. So I want you to practice, all of you to practice this, how to do node classification. What you have to do is go to the PEGA installation folder. Wherever you install PEGA, go to that folder. Within that folder, go to the Tomcat. In the Tomcat, you have bin. In the bin, there is a file called setenv.bat. Simply open this with Notepad and you just add the services to that. Okay, so what you do, just open this file, then you will find this line like this. Dnode type equal to, this line will be there in the Notepad when you open. Simply you just append this extra services that we discussed, ADM, DDS, RTDG, real time, like that you just add it. That is how you do node classification. As part of node classification, you will log into every node, you will open this file and you set the service names and you just restart the server. That is how we do node classification in real time, also in PEGA also. Not only for PEGA decisioning, I am telling you for PEGA also. Okay, go to this path, bin set env, then just set this file, then you just simply restart your personal edition. So after you restart, you will be able to see all these services in this particular place. Instead of universal, you will see these names: ADM, RTDG, search, all these things will be displayed here. So you can try this. It will not affect anything. It will not damage anything. Just you can try this whenever you are free. Wherever you install your personal edition, go to them and you just do this thing. So any questions, guys, just let me know. So any doubts, anything?
Uh, if we edit this one, will it not affect the browser, our node from the browser? Because we don't have the browser right in that list.
Web user, huh?
Right, right.
Web user is
Okay,
there,
then.
right? There.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
both
that's
are
what.
same, right? If all those parameters and universal are same, right? Actually.
Yeah, both are same. Just for your understanding, I'm telling.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
So both are same.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what you do, you just set denotype equal to universal directly. Then it is universal. If you set it like this, then it will display the service names.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So update the parameters for the denotype with required services. Then shut down the server, restart the server. Now what you have to do, go to the admin studio, verify whether whatever you have given is displayed or not. That's what you have to do. Fine. Now what next? So first thing, you have to set up the environment. As part of environment, either you set it as universal, directly denotype equal to universal. That's it. When you have single node. When you have multiple nodes, you have to log into each and every node and you have to set denotype equal to ADM, comma, real time, like this. So then restart the server and check the verify this. After you verify, so we have to go to the dev studio. So this is the second verification. First verification is go to the admin studio, check the node type, whether it is reflecting or not. Second verification is come to the dev studio, go to the configure. So within configure decisioning, okay, all your decisioning related things are in decisioning infrastructure services. So you have to make sure these services are also normal. Okay, whenever you give denotype equal to DDS, ADM, RTDG, stream, automatically this status will display normal after you restart the server. So you have to go to the configure decisioning infrastructure services and you have to verify here also. So you see the status is normal, that means everything is fine. ADM normal. In data flow, you select batch and status is normal. Real-time data grid, which is the RTDG, status is normal. Stream status is normal. This is very important for decisioning implementation. Without this, we cannot do major features in the decisioning. Okay, like adaptive model, predictive model, strategy, all of them are dependent on this services to be running normally. Now, whenever it is not running normally, what you can do is restart the server as the first step. Most of the time, restarting the server will again reset it to normal. Otherwise, you will be escalating to the administrator that this is not working. Okay, so this is what you have to do. Two verifications. One verification in the admin studio, second verification in the dev studio. Okay, so what next? See, again, you will be getting these PPTs. If at all you don't remember, just go through these PPTs. So I mentioned here also, go to the configure, decisioning, monitoring services. Verify every service is running normal or not. So then what you have to do is go to the Cassandra database. So I told you in the first step, we have a service that is called DDS. DDS is directly mapped to Cassandra database. First of all, what is this Cassandra database? So in our traditional PEGA projects, we use PostgreSQL, Oracle, right? This kind of databases. But in PEGA decisioning, we generally use another database that is called Cassandra. So why Cassandra is needed here? It is not mandatory you have to use, but Cassandra database is a recommendation from PEGA for decisioning projects. So Cassandra is known for two things. First is scalability, second is availability. So scalability means, see, projects that you are going to use in decisioning will be very major projects, right? So some big businesses will be there. So they might have millions of customers, maybe 5 million, 10 million, 20 million also. So if you are sending emails or if you are updating 1 million, 10 million using Postgres or Oracle, it is not that effective. Okay. So it is not effective to deal with millions of records with Postgres and Oracle databases. But Cassandra will not give you any issue regarding performance because it is very good at scalability. Scalability means the database continues to work faster even with 10 customers, 100 customers, 1 million customers, 10 million customers, also like that. So, regardless of the size of the database will continue its performance. So, that is the scalability. How it is doing that means it is going to basically replicate the data in multiple nodes. So Cassandra is recommended with a minimum of 3 nodes. So more than 3 if you have, that is well and good, but minimum 3 nodes should be there. So it will basically do some partitioning, indexing, and it will replicate the data in multiple nodes, and then it will fetch the data very fast without giving any issues while loading. It will get the data very fast. Second reason is availability. So the availability means, you know, basically what is meant by availability, how much time the database is available without any crash. So even during crashes also, the database will give you the records as usual. Using some imaging concept or something, even if your database is crashed, if your entire data is gone, still the data can be retrieved without any issues. So almost it will give 99 to 100% availability of your data. So for these two reasons, PEGA has recommended Cassandra database for PEGA decisioning projects. One is scalability, where you can achieve maximum performance. even with huge number of records. Second is availability. That means even during critical failures, the data can still be retrieved during some using some ways with Cassandra database. So PEGA has also internally added one Cassandra database in the decisioning projects. That means when you create a PEGA decisioning application, automatically PEGA is creating one Cassandra database for you. But whether you want to use it or not, that is your wish. But PEGA recommends using Cassandra database. Okay, PEGA recommends using Cassandra database. So from your side also, you have to recommend business that we will be using Cassandra. Now coming to the internal database, one more database is there, that is called external MKT data. See, again, you can use Postgres, you can use Oracle, all that, but additionally Cassandra is also recommended. So this external MKT data is used to store the marketing information. We'll come to that later. Fine, what next? So any questions still here based on Cassandra? What is that, all that? So just I will write it here also. Okay, Cassandra database is recommended for PEGA decisioning projects, but not mandatory. Okay, PEGA has internal Cassandra database already, so you can enable or disable it. You can also connect to external Cassandra database. Okay, PEGA already has internal Cassandra database. You can either use it or you don't need to use it, but recommendation is to use it. Now the only way to either insert, update, delete, read the data from Cassandra database is using decision data store. Okay, so that's what you have to understand here. Fine. Now coming to the next thing. What is the next thing? The next thing is, what is the prerequisite data that we need to know? That means now what we have done is we have set up the environment. So as part of environment setup, I understood that we need to configure some services, ADM, DDS, RTDG, real time, all these things. After you configure, you have to do two verifications. One verification in the admin studio, second verification in the dev studio. Then what else? What is the next thing? So we have configured the environment, but we have to understand, basically important thing is to whom you want to promote. Okay, to whom you want to promote as a business. Let us say I am a bank, some HDFC bank. As a bank, I need to understand I am using PEGA decisioning, but to which people you want to promote. Whether I want to promote to whether I want to promote to so whether I want to promote to existing customers, whether I want to promote to, let us say, some leads. Okay, leads means these people have actually submitted some bank account application. Okay, new bank account application. So whether I have to promote to these people, leads, Or let us say whether I have to promote for new customers, that means on social media, or let us say something like YouTube or TV, okay, or radio, like this. So where I want to promote and what kind of audience I want to promote. So when I say existing customers, let us say the customer is already having some premium account type. So then we are promoting some very luxury credit card to this premium customer. So that is one type of promotion. Second thing is, this customer is interested, but he is not yet a customer. Okay, this person, this lead person, he is interested to create a bank account, but he is not yet a lead. Third thing is, there are some people who is not even a bank customer. They are not even interested also. Just they are some people. So through social media or through YouTube, you want to create a YouTube video and you want to promote, and you want to get some new customers. All these are different types of audience: existing audience, interested audience, and completely new audience who don't even know about your bank. So this we call it as context. Okay, so this we call it as context. Context means audience. Okay, different types of context. We have customers, leads, new customers, something like that. Generic name is context. So now we have to decide. So it is also called a subject. Okay, context and also subject. Both are same. Context or subject or audience, both are same. Now we have to decide who is my primary audience, which is called primary context. Who is my secondary audience, secondary context. So at a given point of time, we will have only one primary context, but we will have multiple secondary context. So basically that means, as part of my goal, who is your primary targeted audience to whom you want to promote? Okay, that you make it as a primary context. Secondary context means they are not the primary audience for me, but at a later point of time, I will promote to those people also. So this thing you have to identify before you implement the decisioning. So you have to discuss with the business to whom they want to promote. Whether they want to promote to the existing people, whether they want to promote to some new people to get the data, or whether they want to promote to some associated people like that. So this is called the primary context, secondary context. Okay, any questions still here? So did you understand this concept here about the promotion? Yes, no? Okay, so I take it as yes. So here, what I was telling you, that basically before you start the promotion, first you need to know, like, whom do you want to promote? Do you want to promote to this people? Do you want to promote to this people, or do you want to promote to this people? Based on what you understand, we have to configure them as a primary context, that is the main audience. Then we have secondary context, which is the secondary audience. Third one we have is the associated context. Okay, third one what we have is the associated context. So associated context means what? Associated context means whatever the products or services or subscriptions the context is having. So why this is very important? So let us take one example. Let us say I am a bank. I am HDFC Bank. I want to use PEGA decisioning for promotion of my products and services. Now, as part of identifying the context, I have identified my primary context I want to promote is to existing customers. My secondary context is to promote through social media for new customers. This is my secondary context. Okay. Now, I identified that my primary context is existing customers, which means I am going to promote most of my offers to existing people only. So let us say there is a customer already, which is called customer 1, who is present in HDFC Bank. Now this customer 1, we want to promote to this customer 1. Okay, but the bank, what the bank wants to promote, the HDFC Bank want to promote some personal loan. Okay, some personal loan service to the customer 1. Now, while it is promoting to this customer 1, first it has to check whether customer 1 is already having a personal loan, right? So if the customer is already having a personal loan, then it is waste of time to again promote, because 99% of the time the customer will not accept. So that we call it as the associated context, because associated context means whatever the customer's existing products, existing services, existing subscription that he is having. So we need to know what products the customer is already having, so that we don't need to promote the same thing again to them. Okay, so if the customer 1 is already having credit card, then the bank wants to promote credit card, then we can skip this customer. We don't need to promote again to him. So that context, we call it as associated context. So for every context, this associated context will be there. So even if you take a secondary context, which is like, for example, social media people. So social media people also can have some context, like they are already part, or they are already having some existing account or not, like this. So for every context, you can have one associated context. So this all we need to identify before we create the decisioning application, which is the primary context, secondary context, associated context, which is nothing but primary audience, secondary audience, the products of the audience. Okay, any questions, any doubts or anything in this topic, or are you clear about this context and subject? So both are same, context or audience or subject, both are same. Yes, no questions?
Hi, Ravi. Actually, the terminology you are telling,
Yeah,
so is it for both marketing as well as for decisioning, right? They are
both of
not.
them. Yeah,
Okay.
both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So why this is needed means, why we are going to understand this means, the reason for that is we have to configure context dictionary. Okay, there is some particular very important feature which is called context dictionary, where you will define what is my primary context, which means is it customers, for example, in which table customer data is present. Okay, and what is the email id property, phone number property, and full name property, like this. So every time you say okay, promote to customers, then automatically the marketing will refer to this table. it will not ask you every time you say promote daily you have to promote to customers. Every day it will not ask you, okay, what is customer table, what is the phone number of the customer and all that. Okay, just you say promote to customers, then from this context dictionary it will find out where the customers are present, what is their email id, what is their phone number, what is the full name of them, and they will promote to that. So context dictionary is nothing but all the list of audience you will be adding here. What is the name of the audience, which table they are present, what data is present in that, everything you will add it. What is the associated context, everything you will add it here. Then from marketing, whenever you are doing any promotion, automatically it will take from here. Okay, so let me show you that context dictionary. So if you come to the cdh, now what you have to do is go to the app studio. Okay, so you see dev studio, go to the app studio. So this also you have to do before creating the after creating the application you have to do. Okay, not before, just after you create the application. So we will create the application tomorrow. So once you come to the app studio, go to the settings, go to the context dictionary. Okay, this is where you give the context dictionary. So context dictionary means all the audiences you will configure it here. Now every time marketing will refer to this particular feature. So you see here, this is context dictionary. Right now the primary context is customer, which means my main targeted audience to whom I want to promote the offers, those are customers. The secondary context is account and prospect. So whenever I have to promote to this account and prospect, what I do is simply I just click on change primary, and then I select account and I click on submit. Then what happens is account will become primary, customer will become secondary. Okay, whenever you are promoting main audience, you have to keep it as primary. Secondary audience, you have to keep it as like this. And you can add multiple context. You just need to click on the add context button. Then what happens is it will ask you what is the type of audience that you are promoting. So for example, I will say something like leads. Lead means that new customer who is not yet a customers. Okay, some new person who is interested in our bank. Here you have to give the class name. Class name means where the lead information is present. That class name you have to give it here. So for example, I'll say like abc dash data dash lead. So again, we all know, right, every concrete class in PEGA is mapped to a table. So you have to create a class and you have to map it to the table. Then it will ask you like this. It will you have to give the class name here. For example, if you see this customer context, so in this context, so this cloud sometimes it will be slow, so just you have to bear with it. So meanwhile, if you have any questions or any doubts, let me know till here, because tomorrow we will be creating a new decisioning application. So all this we have done today is like a setup or preparation for the new application. Okay, so I just come here. So I'll go to intelligence prediction studio. Okay, go to intelligence prediction studio. Let us reload this. Okay, just reload this. So sometimes what happens is the cloud, right, it will be expired. So then also it will not open. You see, this is not opening. So what you have to do is, again, you have to wake up this PEGA. Okay, you have to wake up and you have to click on the launch button. Again, it will wake up. So again, so you see now it is ready again. Because it is shut down, you have to wake up and you have to open again. So you see now we are going. So go to the Intelligence Prediction Studio and go to the Admin Studio. Sorry, App Studio. Go to the App Studio and go to the settings. Then you go to the go to the settings and then you go to the context dictionary. So when you click on customer here, you see here I have given the customer single name, plural name, where the customer data is present. The customer data is present in this class. This class will be mapped to a table. Now, what is the full name? What is the email? What is the mobile number? Because these three are very important. Because promotion entirely will depend on these three. To whom you are promoting, what is their email address, what is their mobile number, so that we can send an email or SMS to this particular property. That's what we are doing. Then this customer is having some associated data which is called accounts join FS clickstream. That is the associated data, which means some existing information of that customer. That is nothing but the associated data. So this is what is very important, where we need to do before you do the context dictionary, which I will show you tomorrow.